Hey guys, we're back here on BrokeRock, and I decided to do this video a little bit different. I haven't done too much of the time lapses where I'm building and working on things just because the way this year has gone, but here I am trying to, well, fighting the drowns, but I'm also trying to terraform this area where I want to have Gal put the automatic brewing station that he's going to put in for me. And I'm just gonna narrate some of this. There'll be also have some music in the background as we go through this. I know in that area there where I'm terraforming, it's out of range of the conduit, so I was having a little difficulty with trying to get things done and keep my air. And then I finally realized too that I had my gold helmet on, and I do have a diamond helmet that has respiration and all that good stuff on it. So I did at some point finally go switch and get that helmet. I know as I terraform this probably isn't the best terraforming job. That's something that I'm not strong in. But I did the best that I could to make it look somewhat natural, and I'm hoping that really you're not going to notice it so much. After I placed all this stone, I went ahead and graveled all the top of it, since most of the ocean floor here is gravel. But I think I ran out of gravel, so I had to go get more as I was doing this. Like I said, the drowns were definitely making it interesting, especially when they had tridents, and there was a few times where I kept getting pelted with tridents, but I couldn't even find the drown. And yeah, here I am again taking out llamas. They just get to be kind of a pain. So usually if they're floating around or somewhere nearby, I take them out, and they do kind of take up the mob cap if you don't take care of them, and you get a lot of them around. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Must have got a message or something from my daughter. I have so much stone this season, I don't even know what to do with all of it. I know a lot of it I took to the community center for anybody who may have needed the stone for build projects or whatever they may have needed it for. So that's the way it looks terraformed. Like I said, not the best, but it works. It works for what I needed to do. And I'm just going back and, you know, emptying out the inventory like I always do before I start on the next thing. And I didn't realize too, I just seen it here as I'm watching this, that I threw that boat in the furnace, and I wasn't wanting to throw it in the furnace. I had meant to throw it in the wood chest, and apparently I threw the wrong thing in there. I know I was kind of in and out, so here I'm just harvesting up some of the crops. All the seeds and stuff I just compost for the bone meal, because I was needing so much bone meal for white dye when I first started building this, and I keep it around because I may need it for other things, like growing trees if I need wood for something. Then I go and harvest up the potatoes because we'll need those for the XP smelter that I'm going to do here in a little bit. And I know not all of those potatoes were grown, but that's okay. We still got quite a bit. I think I've managed to gather up a little over a barrel full. I know it's not going to be enough for the smelter, but at least we can get a good start on it and get that going. So I've ended up putting the extra over in a shulker box. And me just kind of cleaning out the stuff out of my inventory. And I decided to go ahead and put in the sugar cane. This is what I was doing here, gathering everything I needed to put in a little bit of a sugar cane. And that was odd, slime balls being out there in the water. I'm not sure what happened there or where they came from, because I know I'm in a slime chunk, actually a couple of slime chunks, and I've fixed it to where the slimes can't spawn a whole lot. So this is where I decided to put just our little manual sugar cane farm. And I'm glad I decided to go ahead and put that in, and you'll see here in a little bit why that sugar cane is going to come in so handy. I definitely don't need it for enchantment now since I have that set up. I may still need it for since levels are fairly easy to come by. Every once in a while I'll just go to the enchantment table and just use up a lot of those levels for enchant a bunch of books. Just see what I can get. You never know, you may need it down the line, or somebody may need it at some point. And I try to stick with those enchants that people would want to use or would possibly need. So I went with the blackstone there to hide up the water sources, and I dumped some torches. I may go back and put some lanterns or do something different there lighting wise instead of those torches. So that's me putting all our stuff back. So then I was trying to figure out what I should do next. I end up kind of going and deciding to do the XP grinder, or the XP smelter, whatever you want to call it. So here I'm gathering up the supplies that I need for it. Getting me some hoppers and trying to figure out how many hoppers I would need for it. It didn't ultimately turn out the way I wanted it to. I really wanted it to be completely hidden with just the furnace or the smoker. Since I'm using potatoes for it, I went with a smoker. I just wanted to be able to see that smoker. It was kind of hard to do, being how my base is set up. And I found this pocket of water that I didn't realize was there, so I had to go back and get some stone to kind of fill it in a little bit. And you'll see me kind of mess with this smelter and trying to figure out how I want to put it in. I did it one way and decided that I didn't like it that way. And I thought about changing it there when I did it, and then I left it and just kind of went with it. Like I said, I wanted everything to pretty much be hidden. I didn't want to be able to see the hoppers. Here's me thinking about the best way to do that. But there really isn't a way to hide the hoppers. And like I said, I didn't like the way that looked. I just wanted to be able to see the barrels and the smoker, because you'll have your input chest and for your fuel and for your potatoes. But like I said, it wasn't really what I wanted, just because there really wasn't a good way to do it. So here I changed my mind of where I wanted it, and I'm going to move it over a block. And this is ultimately where I decided to leave it, but I'm still not quite happy with the way it looks. And I decided to go down one as well and put that closer to the floor. One, to make it a little bit easier to reach, and two, so I didn't have as much to try to hide. Here I decided to go get some spruce and use some spruce trapdoors to kind of hide the hoppers a little bit. And that still allows you access to that chest if need be. Won't be pulling anything out of it unless absolutely have to. I don't plan on pulling anything out of it, but I still needed access to it to see how full it is and how close we are to being the chest being full, so we can start using it. And here I'm just kind of putting some things away from my inventory, trying to kind of figure out what I wanted to do next. Like I said, I wasn't completely happy with the XP smelter, but that was the way it was. It just the way it worked. So here I decided I was going to do something with the villager, figure out where I wanted to put him. And then I realized too, why I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to move all of the workstations and barrels, well, I guess the barrels are workstation, out of this room, so that when I cured the villager, that he wouldn't link to any of it. So I'm just kind of throwing stuff wherever I can put it temporarily until I can get that villager cured. So I'm just kind of throwing it in the double chest that's down there, some of it, you know, filling up hoppers. I end up not having room for everything and had to, I think I ended up getting a shulker to put the rest of it into. Trying to make sure I got everything before it despawned. And I just threw it in the potato shulker, which was fine because all of that was going to come back into the workroom anyway. Then I realized I needed wool for bed, but I didn't have all of one color. And I keep forgetting to say something to Gal about the sheep farm not working. So I need to have him take a look at that. I'll have to remember to let him know that needs looked at. I'm assuming I probably messed something up when I was decorating the floor in there and took some of that up. Though I tried to take a bit up at a time and put it back exactly the way he had it. But apparently I not got something where it needed to go. So I'm trying to figure out here where to put the villager and how best to set the villager up. I kind of wanted to leave him free roaming, but at the same time, I didn't want him wandering too far, you know, through the base. I wanted him to stay basically in the work area. So I started to do blocks at first, full blocks, and I realized too I had to be careful how I set it up because I didn't want it to be I was just gonna kind of keep it within the little like glass path kind of area there, and I realized blocks wasn't gonna work. So I thought about different things I could use. Then I decided I'll just do walls, because I figured that would be the easiest, and then I could put a gate in it so I can get in and out if I need to, which I shouldn't have to. As small as that area, I made that area, I should be able to get to the villager without too many problems. So here I'm trying to get the stuff I need for a weakness potion, so I can get the villager cured. And here I'm good bad with potions. I hardly ever make them, so I'm all the time having to look at, okay, I need this potion, and what do I need to make that potion? I had a general idea because I've made quite a few of those, but I just wanted to double check to make sure I had everything I needed for it. And I really need to get a water source down below so I don't have to keep running up to the top to get water. And I'll have to figure out a good way to do that. I might make a infinite water source and make it look kind of like a barrel or trough type deal near where the automatic brewing station is going to be, just so I have easy access to water. So here we are curing him, and he did get me once trying to get him that apple. Then I realized I left the box that I had for Mad's supplies for the smelter I'm going to have him put in. So I realized I had to move that out of the way before he finished curing. And he come as a cleric, so I'm like, am I going to have to go back to the other side and break the brewing stand I had? And then I see that the particles, so I knew he linked to the bed, but I think he also linked to the lectern at the same time as well. And I'm trying to get him back in there. I'm trying to get the boat moved over so I can, close it all off so he's not running around. But I couldn't figure out, or couldn't even get the boat nudged where I wanted it. So I ended up just sleeping and then breaking the boat and quickly putting back in the stair or the wall before he could get out. So that worked fairly well. And then I spent, I don't know how long, playing around trying to get a Mending villager. And I started putting the podium there, and then at one point I realized that if he got on top of that podium, he would be able to get out. So I ended up moving it back to the end of the bed again. There's a few times while I was doing this, I was thinking that's when I realized I'd have to move the podium back. There was a few times during this that I'm thinking, well, maybe I should have just kept that book trade. I was wanting Mending. Not that I can't get Mending, and I hit him once on accident trying to see what trades he had. And doing this, when you want a specific thing, can get a little bit frustrating because you'll keep getting the same one. There's several times when I kept getting the exact same trade every time I placed that lectern down. And I'm not sure. Okay, this is where I actually got the Mending book that I wanted, so I'm trading to lock him in, to lock his trades in, and then I bought some. I did this a few times, trading paper and trading to get Mending books. So I probably have maybe a half a shulker now. I realized he went back to sleep because it was nighttime, before I could get back and trade for the books. And it is, the trade is like crazy cheap. And then I realized I was out of room in my inventory because of all the redstone stuff I had in my inventory. And I kind of looked a little bit to see what else he had, but that's going to be it for this episode, guys, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!